Hello, I'm Andy Paredes with Line 6, and in this full compass video we're going to be taking a look at the Line 6 Helix. Starting off, Helix is a brand new modeling system that Line 6 has been working on for several years, and the whole idea behind Helix is to make Helix as easy and powerful as every musician is going to need it to be, regardless if you're playing live or in the studio or doing any other sort of application. Helix is going to offer a full complement of brand new models, as well as new effects and a great new way to implement these and be able to see your signal flow as you're working. Let's take a look at how that's going to work. Helix by Line 6 is going to give really any guitar player, any musician, a huge palette of things that they can work with. Going direct to the PA, it works great for people who are using in-ears, any sort of house of worship situation where you have to be controlled in volume but still need great tone. This is going to be a great product to take a look at. Also for recording engineers who are tired of people having to lug multiple amps and microphones and move things around consistently, this is going to make life a lot easier for you as a recording artist, because that way you've got everything in one box that just connects directly. So for a performing musician, one of the best things that we have for an offering here with Helix is the ability to have customizable Scribble strips as well as color changing foot controllers. So let's take a look at how that's going to work. Down here you'll notice that from the things that we've already assigned, we're going to see red squeeze, script mod phase, transistor tape, and plate reverb. But what's great about Helix is it actually gives us a different color for each one depending on the category of effect it's coming from. So for example, here on red squeeze, that's a dynamic, so you're going to notice it's kind of that orangish yellow color. Script mod phase, that's going to be a modulation, so it's going to be blue. So when I turn that on, you'll notice the ring around this is going to be a blue ring. Delays are always green, so you'll notice when I turn on my transistor tape, we've got that there. And then finally, our reverbs are going to be kind of an orange color, so when I click on that, we've got that. But what's great about this from a performance standpoint is even if I'm 5-10 feet away on stage, I can see exactly what effect I'm going to be hitting when I activate it. Another great thing for live or for recording is the built-in looper that we have available to us. So the looper can be assigned to any foot switch. You'll notice over here I've assigned it to this top right foot switch here. And you'll notice with the customizable Scribble strips, when I select this, it's actually going to spill out all of my looper controls right on the console. So now I have my record, my play stop, I can do half or full speed, forward or reverse, I can undo a loop, or I can simply play a loop once. Once I'm done with the looper, I can hit exit looper here, and then I'm back into my overall effects console. But if I don't want to be running effects and I want to go purely into my presets, I can hit the mode button again, and now you'll see my presets here at the very top. So one of the biggest things that we worked on with Helix was getting the workflow to be more similar looking to what a guitar player is typically used to seeing. So you'll notice it went from the left to the right here, you're going to actually see just the straight up workflow from the instrument to the output. And what's really neat about this is we can make this anything we want in any slot. So for example, maybe I want to start out with my guitar amp. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my navigator, I'm going to move to the center here, so that way I have space in front or back for effects. And all I have to do is hit enter. And you'll notice when I scroll up and down here, I'm going to be able to see all of the different categories of effects, which are all color coded. So for example, in Line 6 world, green is always delay, blue is modulation, and so on. But if I scroll past my effects, I'm going to get down here to where I see amp plus cab. So I'm going to select that by hitting enter, and then you're going to notice I have guitar and bass options. Starting off with guitar, I'm just going to select that very first one, and this who-watt here, that's going to give me kind of a nice like full British type of amp sound like this. Maybe if I scroll down here and I want like a small tweed, more of an American sound. Then scrolling through here, you're going to notice we've got well over 40 guitar amps that we can choose from. One of my favorites, the Jazz Rivet, for that really kind of cool, full, R&B type of sound. Scrolling past that, all of a sudden now I'm into my British combo amps. I've got things that I can do like this. And then past that, you're going to notice more of the British plexi stuff, and all of a sudden we're getting into more of the crunchy territory. And then beyond that, then I'm going to get into the super high gain stuff like the California rectifier, things like this. So anytime I want to pick something, all I have to do is hit enter on that. So I'm going to go back to that jazz rivet. So I'm just going to select that. And what you're going to notice here is at the very bottom of the screen, we've got these 6 encoders here. These are the face controls of any amplifier. So I'm going to have that, and then you'll notice I've got these 3 little dots here. So I can make any adjustments I want. Maybe I want to change the mid, maybe bring up my presence a little bit. But once I've made those adjustments, I can go over to the next page, because I can see here I've got 3 pages. Go over here. This is any master volume information. This would make sense if I was using a tube amp. Obviously with solid state, we're not going to worry too much about that. But past that, now here's where I actually have my mics. And this workflow is really great because in the past, a lot of modelers haven't given you a lot of mic options. But you're going to notice here, I actually have 16 different mic options available to me, and they all sound just as different as any traditional mic. So for example, here, starting with that 57, if I just move that here, all of a sudden it's going to warm up a little bit if I get into the ribbons. And then I've got all my condensers back here as well. So if I wanted to maybe throw in like a 47. Another great thing about this is I have all of my distances available to me in half-inch increments. So let's say I like the way that sounds, but I'm getting a little bit too much proximity effect or low end on the mic placement, all I have to do is I can just pull that distance back. So I can go up to 12 inches in half-inch increments. Another great thing about this is we have our amp and cab options available to us. So it will automatically match the right cab to the right amp. But let's say you want to change that up. That's totally easy to do. Again, going into the navigator button, I just hit this, and now I can see all of my different cabinet options right here. And it's going to give me everything. It's going to give me everything from the little 8-inch speakers all the way up to my big 4 12-inch speakers. Another thing that Helix is going to offer is the ability to control both the things inside of the unit as well as things that are happening outside of the unit. So let's take a look at what the I/O is going to offer on the back. Starting off, you're going to notice that I've got my main guitar instrument, but I also have an aux in, which is great if people want to use an acoustic guitar, bass, maybe even an electric violin, something along those lines. Then I also have an XLR input, which is dedicated for mic or any other sort of XLR input usage. You're also going to notice here on the far left side, I actually have a number of different output options. So you can use the expression pedal that's right on the device for sure, but then you can also connect 2 external expression pedals for additional control options. Another great thing that a lot of guitar players have really liked is the fact that we give you the 1/4-inch Trs Output, which can actually control the channels on an external amp, as well as all of your effects right from this. And for people who want to do control voltage, we even have control voltage right there as well. Moving over here moving to the right here, you're going to notice 4 separate effects loops, which is great for some guitar players who have effects that they just can't live without. They don't want to leave those effects at home, and you don't have to with Helix. So what you can do here is you can connect up to 4 of your favorite external effects, and you can assign any of those on-off button parameters to go right inside the Helix, right on the controllable foot switches. You'll notice XLR out, we've talked about before, going straight to front of house is great, or for any recording scenario. And then you also have 1/4-inch out if you're going to be using your guitar amplifier. You have headphone output, so if you're going to be recording at home or if you want to do some practicing before the show, you can do that without having to make any sound. The Variax is great because it's not only going to give you power to your Variax, but it can also control the Variax to show what's happening there. Midi Control, which is great for a MIDI beat clock, or if you're going to be controlling this with an external sequencer, more of a studio or a live scenario there. And really for the studio players, they're really going to like the fact that it does have SPDIF in and out as well as AES EBU. And then finally, the USB is going to give you the option to do updates or to back up your presets using the free librarian. So thanks for taking a look. If you have any additional questions, you can go to fullcompass.com or contact your Full Compass sales pro. Thanks for watching.